She hovered behind him like a hawk, scrutinizing every pixel on his screen, then scolded him for checking the weather. The weather. What she didn't know. He was the head of IT. And she had just made the worst mistake of her professional life. Her days of micromanaging everyone were about to come to a humiliating end, and it was going to be glorious. If you've ever worked with someone who thought it was their job to police everyone else but never followed the rules themselves, smash that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because today's story is a masterclass in poetic justice. And trust me, you're gonna feel every ounce of satisfaction when it hits. I want you to picture the most controlling, sanctimonious, self-righteous coworker you've ever met. Multiply that by 10. Give her a smug face, a clipboard, and an inflated sense of authority. And you've just met Karen. No, really, her name was actually Karen. And wow, did she live up to it. We worked in a traditional cubicle office setup, part of a company that spanned 2 buildings. The corporate headquarters and the production office where I was stationed. Karen also worked in production, but instead of doing her actual job, she had unofficially appointed herself as the office behavior police. She'd pop her head up like a prairie dog every time she heard the printer fire up. Is that double-sided? Is that for company use? You know, using company resources for personal stuff is a violation. People had nicknamed her the printer Nazi. Not exactly subtle, but accurate. She acted like her job was to enforce rules that nobody asked her to enforce. What made it worse? She had her own office, which meant she could hide away and browse the internet for hours. But heaven forbid someone else check a weather app or print a recipe. Then came the day the tide started to turn, though she didn't know it yet. Our IT department was based at the corporate building, but they'd occasionally work on-site at production when major system updates rolled out. On this particular day, a few members of the IT team had come over to use our cubicles for some network upgrades. Karen, of course, didn't know these people. And as usual, she couldn't mind her own business. She spotted a man sitting in one of the temporary desks, looking at what appeared to be a weather radar. Major storms were forecasted to roll in that afternoon, and let me be clear, checking the weather was explicitly allowed for safety reasons. But Karen, she saw weather and smelled misuse. So what did she do? She strutted over, stood behind him, and lectured him. Right there, in the middle of the office. Like a teacher scolding a student. Company resources are not for personal use. You should not be on unauthorized websites during work hours. And here's the part that still makes me laugh. She had no idea who he was. That man was the head. And instead of pulling rank or embarrassing her, he simply smiled, closed his browser, and nodded. Later that day, during a break, he pulled me aside, because we were close work friends, and said with a grin, "So, your office Karen gave me a full lecture today. For checking the weather." Blink. "Oh my God. She doesn't know who you are." He just laughed. "Nope. But now, I'm curious. If she's so obsessed with what I'm doing, what's she doing in her private office all day?" Let me tell you, I saw the spark of petty revenge light up behind his eyes. Over the next few days, he started digging into her internet activity. And what he found wasn't just ironic. It was damning. Turns out, Karen had been spending hours every single day shopping online. Amazon, see, you name it. Not only that, on the same day she scolded him, she walked right back into her office and ordered herself a blouse. The hypocrisy wasn't subtle. It was brazen. He compiled everything. Access logs, timestamps, URLs, even screenshots of her most frequent online shopping sites. He didn't even have to stretch the truth. The evidence spoke for itself. Then, he turned it all over to HR. A week later, I was in the break room when I saw it happen. 2 members of upper management, including our HR lead, walked into Karen's office. The door closed. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. When the door opened again, she wasn't walking out alone. Her face was pale, eyes darting, clutching her purse like a lifeline. She was being escorted out of the building. No notice, no goodbye. Just like that, she was gone. The office was buzzing for the rest of the day. No one said it aloud, but everyone knew what had happened. Even those who didn't know the full story felt the justice. The woman who policed everyone for the tiniest infractions, busted for exactly the thing she tried to shame others for. Thought balloon reflective wrap-up, 11 to 11:30. You know, there's a difference between leadership and control. Karen never understood that. She didn't want to help people follow the rules. She wanted to catch them breaking them. But the higher you climb on that high horse, the harder you fall when someone kicks it out from under you. If this story gave you life, hit that like button. And let me know in the comments, what's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen play out at work? And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of karma, justice, and all the revenge you wish you could pull off. See you in the next one.